gentlemen, and welcome to the preview show delivered by FedEx. I'm Jonathan Merryman, filling in for this guy, Marty Snider. Marty Snider's here, filling in for Chris Rice. Las Vegas.
Which I hope I can fill in for Chris Rice.
Big shoes to fill for sure. Coming out of Las Vegas, a lot happened. So
wait, there was a race in Vegas?
There was a race, there was a fight, but first,
there was a fight.
Let's give credit where credit is due. Martin Truex Jr. and Cole Pern, they just dominated that whole race. They got a little bit of a gift at the end, but it's about time that they got a little bit lucky. But talk about them dominating that race and what that means for that Toyota team.
Kind of the opposite of what normally happens for the 70-18. They're doing incredible things setup-wise. They're bringing speed to many different kinds of racetracks, but at these mile-and-a-half tracks, they are just so strong.
But perhaps they're a little bit under the radar because what kind of stole the show was the extracurriculars after the race.
There was a little bit after the race.
Joey Logano and Kyle Busch, contact on the track, just a racing deal, and what do you make of the fight afterwards?
I think it's hard to assess blame on the racetrack necessarily. I mean, I think you can see Joey Logano's point that Kyle Busch kind of came down into him going into turn 3. You can obviously see Kyle Busch's point because Joey Logano clearly took him out of a top 5 finish. It's going to be a very strong day for the 18 team. Fans wanted drivers to show emotion, to care about every spot. We got to remember, this wasn't a battle for the win. This was for 4th place. I don't think there's anything moving forward. I think Brian France clearly said no retaliation moving forward. That's something NASCAR won't tolerate. So I think this is the end of the story. I think they're going to make each other's life difficult for the rest of the year, but I don't think anything bad happens on the racetrack.
Well, to your point, we're heading to Phoenix. It's our first short track of the year. They have to bottle that up and not let that explode
at a short track.
At a short track. So what can we expect come Phoenix from these two?
I think it's a difficult racetrack. I think moving forward for these two, like I said, they're just going to make everybody's life a little bit more difficult. Like when Kyle Busch is around Joey Logano, he's probably going to crowd him, not give him a lot of room, and vice versa. That's just how it's going to go. But you mentioned Phoenix, tough, short racetrack. It's a racetrack where there's not a lot of room to have things like that happen. So it's going to be interesting. We saw something happen in the fall race last year. Matt Kenseth got spun out at the end of the race.
We also have stages in play at a short track for the first time this year. No short pitting. So what kind of strategy play might we see at Phoenix, or is it just going to be a straight-up race?
Won't be any short pitting, and I think it's going to be interesting because it is the first short track of the year with stages. I think crew chiefs are going to kind of play it out and feel out what they need to do with the stages. I think they play it fairly straightforward. We may see some fuel mileage plays, but I don't think we're going to see anything very drastic in terms of strategy.
All right, when we talk about Phoenix, that's kind of Kevin Harvick's house, if you will. He has 8 wins there. That's pretty impressive, and his win percentage, 28.6, is also very good. And let's not forget, they tested there over the offseason. Is this Kevin Harvick's race to lose?
Well, I think that's going to be a very interesting thing to see because remember last fall, they weren't actually that good. They know what they need to do at Phoenix. They know how to get to victory lane. That is Kevin Harvick's best racetrack. He'll tell you that. Rodney Childers will tell you he puts pressure on himself every time he takes Kevin Harvick to Phoenix. So I think they're certainly one to pick for the win. I just don't know they're a lock as maybe they have been in the past.
All right, now it's time to put our money where our mouth is. Who are you taking to win this thing?
I'm going to let you pick first for Chris Rice because Chris Rice always gets first pick, and I think I know who Chris Rice would take.
Chris Rice has this guy's posters all over his bedroom. Of course, it's going to be Kevin Harvick, and I'm going to give you a couple reasons why Kevin is the guy to take. Kevin Harvick and Rodney Childers, they are not happy with how they have finished the last 3 races. You're talking about a finish of 22nd at Daytona, 9th at Atlanta when they should have won that race, and 38th at Las Vegas because they blew a tire. They're mad. I do not want to be on the opposite end of what they're going to do. So
I understand that.
What about you?
I'm going to go with Matt Kenseth. Of the Joe Gibbs Racing cars, I feel like they've had the best speed this year. They've been very consistent. And Matt has been very strong at the flat racetracks. You look at New Hampshire, you look at Phoenix. They've been very strong at those type of racetracks and really probably should have won this race last year in the fall as well. So I'm going to go with Matt Kenseth this weekend as your winner at Phoenix. We'll see what happens.
All right, he's taking Kenseth, I'm taking Harvick. You make sure you park it in front of the TV. That is Sunday at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time, the Camping World 500 at Phoenix Raceway. Don't miss it. That's going to be on Fox. Marty, we appreciate you filling in for Chris. Thanks for letting me join you on the FedEx Preview Show, and thank you all for watching, and enjoy Phoenix.